You were talking about Spencer Oliver having been in a sauna with Johnny Nelson and a rugby player yesterday, and you said you were going to discuss this further. Spencer.
Yes, Benno Obano is his name, the rugby player. Anyone know him, Simon?
Are you sure you're pronouncing that correctly?
Probably not.
Mm-hmm. Benno Obano.
Yeah, I believe that's what it is. Anyway, we went into the sauna and it was all part of the build-up to Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury 2 for Sky Sports. They're going to be playing that across their platforms in Fight Week. And
so what's that got to do with a rugby player?
I'm going to tell you what it is now. He was the presenter of the show. He does this thing called Heat Fest, where he does it with certain sports people. And the reason we done it in the sauna was because Tyson Fury, when he won the world... I won't tell you what we was in, mate.
Yeah,
I don't think I can announce that on air. But
Spencer was wearing a small flannel.
But the reason they done it in a sauna was because when Tyson Fury beat Klitschko.
Sorry, Spence.
Thank you. When Tyson Fury beat Klitschko, the fight was actually won and lost in the sauna. Tyson Fury went into the sauna, Klitschko come into the sauna, and they were having a battle off on who could last there the longest. And it will become a little bit of a psychological thing. See who was the weakest. And Fury stayed in there, and Klitschko walked out, and Fury said, that's when I knew I had him beat. And that's where it started from. So we sort of relived that. Mate, I've got to tell you, before we started even talking about the fight, because we were talking just generally, we're 20 minutes in, my heart's starting to beat. By 30 minutes in, I can see my heart beating in my stomach.
Goodness.
And yeah, we had to get through it. 40 minutes I was in there. Have you ever done a sauna 40 minutes, Simon?
Yes, I have.
You're sitting there.
I've been in there for an hour and a half.
Oh, right. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
We understand that both Johnny Nelson and the rugby player were pleading with you not to leave the sauna when you tried to go out on a number of occasions. It's been a bizarre few weeks for Tommy Fury, who last month was involved in a slightly chaotic press conference with Darren Till, which almost ended in everyone coming to blows.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. MMA fighters can't box and it'll
Tommy,
happen on
you've got the IQ of a loaf of bread, mate.
That.
What are you on about?
That's all I'm going to say.
You're an empty head.
Hey,
you're
Darren.
an absolute... What are you going to do? What are you going to do? 6 p.m. Get your ticket.
Yes, indeed. So it descended into chaos.
That was you in the sauna.
We're back in the sauna.
That's me coming out of the sauna.
Now, last week, Tommy Fury suddenly announced that the Darren Till fight was cancelled. He said Darren has stated over and over that he doesn't want to abide by professional boxing rules, and that if he is losing the fight, he will resort to kicking and other stupid MMA tactics. So the fight is off. Darren Till gave his reaction on social media.
What's happening, everyone? I've just got to the gym now to do my sparring this morning, and I've just been shown that Tommy Fury's put up a post saying that he's not fighting because I've threatened to kick him in the head. I said I'd kick him in the head at the press conference as a mental warfare tactic, and since then I haven't said anything else. I've been hard at work in the gym preparing for this boxing match with him on January 18th. I said to everyone that Tommy was going to pull out regardless of anything. Knew it since the press conference, so now it's confirmed what I said. He's a house, family is and now Tommy's not fighting. I've been hard at work boxing for 2 years. I haven't thrown a kick in 2 years. I threw one kick on a video as a mental warfare tactic. Never in a million years would I throw a head kick in a fight that is only boxing rules. I stick to the rules. I've always abided by the rules throughout my whole career. So now I've got to the gym to do my sparring this morning, 8 rounds of sparring, and Tommy Fury's pulled out. Tommy Fury, you are the biggest house I have ever come across. You are not a man.
Thank you, Darren. So where does that leave us? Well, now Tommy Fury has joined the long list of people calling out Jake Paul.
Right, so I've just woke up and seen Logan Paul talk on his podcast yet again about how I don't want to fight Jake and that I'm running scared. I seen Jake tweeting the other day about how he offered me X, Y, and Z on Netflix. I just wanted to come in here and say that no one's running from that fight. I beat you once already. I handed you your first loss. The minute you stepped up and fought a real boxer, you lost, fair and square. I can give you a second loss, that's not a problem, but let's talk some serious numbers down the phone. If you want to get in touch, you know where I am. It's as easy as that. I can come back after a year and beat the pair of you. So, at the end of the day, if you want to fight, let's talk some serious numbers, you know where I am.
Thank you, Tommy. Remember that Tommy beat Paul on points last February. But sticking with the Furies, in another bizarre twist, John has called out Jake Paul's brother Logan.
This is a message to Logan Paul. You keep going on about saying Tommy don't want to fight your brother. Here's one for you, my friend. He does want to fight your brother. And I'll tell you what else. I will fight you on the undercard. As soon as possible. SAP. You know, because I'm sick of people going on saying, I won't do this and I won't do that. I will show you what I'll do. You know, Tommy will fight your brother as early as end of February or end of January, and I'll fight you on the undercard. You know, you're a lot younger man than me, we know that. You're a 15-stone man, but I won't do as other fighters do. I will let my punches go at you. You know, I'm sick of my critics saying I won't do this, I won't do that, I'm a coward. I'll show you how much of a coward I am. I will fight you anywhere in the world except America on your brother and Tommy's undercard. Get back to me in my minute if you're interested. I will fight you, Logan Paul, and I will throw punches at you.
Okay, so let's kind of unpick this.
We have to.
Tommy Fury goes in again against Jake Paul. Father of Tyson and Tommy, John Fury, on the undercard of that, wants to take on Logan Paul. Where is this all going to happen?
John's back.
Why might it happen?
Should they come into the theme tune from the Addams Family? Mum and mum. Mum and mum.
I mean,
It's bizarre. It
this
really
is
is.
your sport, Spencer.
The whole thing is bizarre. Yeah, but this is my sport. But what we're talking about here is this has its own home. We've discussed this many times ago. Like, this is like, you've got your real boxing, and we're going to see that on the 21st.
Yeah.
With the undisputed heavyweight title and all the great fights that are going on underneath it.
And then there's
everything
this.
else that's coming up in Riyadh. And then this has its own home. This is like boxing / WWE
But they
/
can't-
entertainment.
but please don't let the punters fall for this nonsense. I mean, the fact that Darren Till, Tommy Fury needs to be called out on this, by the way, because ultimately he, did Tyson when Mike Tyson said he was going to eat Lennox Lewis's kids, did he take him out of nursery? You're fighting an MMA fighter that says he's going to kick you in the head. That, by the way, knows that his purse is dependent upon operating in a certain way.
Yes.
So he's not going to be kicking anybody in the head.
By the way, if John Fury called you out, what would be happening there?
Oh, I don't want to fight John Fury. No, thank you very much. That's not the point. But I tell you what, I'd like him to fight Joe Egan or Mickey Filipposis, someone like that.
There you go.
Don't need too much about those sort of fights. Pick on the Paul brothers. Yeah, all gone then.
I do believe they've both been calling him out, right?
I mean, Spence, do we really need to see Tommy Fury calling out Jake Paul and even fighting Jake Paul again? Do we need to see
because the fight was made with Darren Till, and Simon's right in what he says. Don't be so sensitive and say, because he said in the heat of the moment, if it's not going my way, I'm going to kick you in the head. Well, things are said in build-ups. That's selling the fight. He's not going to do that, is he? So you can't then pull out of a fight where you're going to be getting a lot of money and then call out.
Let's finish today on a proper fight.
That's why.
Yeah. A proper fight. Jack Catterall said to be going in against Arnold Barboza, reportedly now agreed for February the 15th in Manchester.
Yeah.
That's proper.
Great fight.
You want to see
that's
that.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about real boxing. Jack Catterall's, he's earned his stripes.
Yeah.
Let's have it right. He's earned his stripes. He was very unlucky not to be the undisputed world champion. It's never going to come along for him again, I wouldn't suspect. And, against Josh Taylor, he beat him in the return. He's earned his stripes now, and he goes in against Barboza. Winnable fight. Great fight, though, as well. And that's real boxing.
But, let's be honest though. He should already be fighting for a world title.
I agree.
He shouldn't have to go through. He's just beaten Regis Prograis. He shouldn't have to be fighting for yet another eliminator to get to a world title.
I totally agree.
It's wrong. But
I totally agree.
He's getting paid, Jack.
Yeah, but you got to respect the way that he's just been so patient. He just gets on with his job.
I've got nothing but respect for Jack.
Yeah, he's a great fighter and a great person.
It's probably time for us to go before John Fury says he wants to fight either myself or Simon. So it might be quite prudent to call time on it. I'm off to Victoria's Secret. No, I'm not. Spencer, thank you so much. There's a large rugby player in Johnny Nelson are calling for you to return to the sauna. Simon, have a good day off tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow with Alex Crook and Troy Deeney.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.